Hi friends, let us start a new topic: ecology, ecosystem, biodiversity. Now this is very important topic for your engineering service examination. My purest suggestions are: be strong on definitions and be strong on basics. The questions in your engineering service examination will be on definitions and core basics, right? Now, before jumping into the topic, let us see some terms and concepts which you will frequently observe in this chapter and also in the coming chapters. Now, if you are clear on this, you can gel with the topics very well, right? Now, let us start with the term environment. Environment. Right? Now, environment is derived from a French word called environner. French word called environner. Now, what is environner? Environner is nothing but called to surround. To surround. To surround. Or it can be called as to encircle. To encircle. To encircle. Right? Now, see here, let us see the basic definition of environment. Right? Now, environment is total sum of all conditions which affect evolution and development of life on earth surface where your organisms live. Right? Now let us sum it up. Okay, now the definition of environment is total sum of all conditions which affect evolution and development of life on earth surface where organisms live. Right? Now this is the basic definition of environment. Now, what does this earth surface include? Now, this earth surface include both biotic components as well as abiotic components. Right? Biotic components as well as abiotic components. Now, what are biotic components? Biotic components, generally what we say it as, which has a life, which have a life, right? Likewise, your plants, animals, and other organisms. Now, what are abiotic components? Now, abiotic components, they are devoid of life. They are devoid of life. Now see here, in ecosystem we will see in detail regarding this biotic and abiotic components, right? Now in general, in order to have a continuity, I am explaining this, right? See, each and every point what I utter in this video is very important. Just go through this video, you will be strong on this topic, right? Now the next term, nature. Now see here, you might think both environment, nature are same, but these are different. Now nature is derived from a Latin word natura, right? Now what is nature? Now nature refers to the characteristics of plants, animals, and other creatures. Now nature refers to the characteristics of plants, animals, and other creatures, right? Or organisms, you can speak it as other creatures, right? Now see here, they refer to the characteristics of plants, animals, and other creatures, it seems, which are nothing but your biotic components on the earth's surface, right? Now observe the difference between them, right? Now once in 2009 Service Commission examination, there was a question. According to Environment Protection Act 1986, what is the definition of environment is the question, and you are given with 4 options. Now you have to be strong according to the act. Now see here, according to Environment Protection Act 1986. We are going little bit slow because you have to be strong on this, right? Now what is environment? What is environment? Now see here, environment is sum of total water, air, and land, and their interrelationship and their relationship with human beings, living organisms, and other abiotic components is called environment according to this act. Now I will sum it up. Environment is sum of total water, air, land, now which include their interrelationship and also their relationship with relationship with human beings, other living organisms, other living organisms, and property, and property. As we speak, it is perfectly right. Now this is the definition according to Environment Protection Act 1986. Now this was a question, right? Next, so our next terminology what you have to learn is, after environment you have to learn about the term called weather. Now what is weather? Short term properties of atmosphere, such as your cloud cover, wind, you can take many things, right, at a given place and time is called weather. Now I'll sum it up, right? Short term properties of atmosphere, atmosphere at a given place and time is called weather, is called weather. Now what are these short term properties of atmosphere? Now you can consider your cloud cover, and you can consider your wind, and you can consider your humidity, right? Many conditions. I have given two examples for you, right? Now this is called weather. Now the next term what you have to learn is climate. Climate. Now see here, you might think environment, nature, weather, climate are all same, but all are not same. Every point has some definition, right? Weather has a definition, climate has different definition, right? Focus on that. Now what is climate? Average weather of an area, which includes atmospheric conditions, seasonal variations, and weather extremes. When all these are averaged over a long period of time, then this is called climate, right? I will sum it up. Now what is climate? Average weather of an area. Now this includes, what this includes? Atmospheric conditions, atmospheric conditions, seasonal variations, seasonal variations, weather extremes, weather extremes. Now see here, when you average all these, average all these over a long period, over a long period, then that is called climate. Right? Now you got the difference between environment, nature, weather and climate. Yes. Now see here, we are very clear on this. Next concepts. Now let us see the definition of biosphere. Biosphere. Now what is biosphere? Biosphere is the part of the earth's crust, hydrosphere and atmosphere that supports life. Right? I'll sum it up. Biosphere is the part of earth's crust, hydrosphere atmosphere that supports life, that supports life. Now at last, what you can summarize, right? Biosphere is formed through the interactions of atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. Right? Now what you can summarize is biosphere is formed through interactions of interactions of atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. Hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere. Right? Now we will discuss in detail regarding atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. Then we will discuss in detail regarding biosphere. Right? Now see here, already we have summarized that biosphere is formed through interactions of atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere, it seems. So different types of biospheres exist based on the interactions of this atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. Right? Now let us see in detail regarding atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. Okay, so now let us start with atmosphere. Now what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is the body of air which surrounds the earth. Now I will sum it up. See here, atmosphere is the body of air which surrounds earth, which surrounds earth. Now again, one more point. Now most of the atmosphere is located close to earth's surface where it is most dense. Now atmosphere is mostly dense, right? Mostly dense. Now this atmosphere is divided into a series of concentric shells due to variations in temperature and pressure at various altitudes, right? Altitude, or you can call it as height, right? Now what are these different layers? Now see here, concentric shells. Already the term sphere itself is self-explanatory, rounded in a three-dimension way. Now let us see the layers of atmosphere. Okay, now let us consider this as earth surface. Now the first layer of atmosphere, or the lowest portion of atmosphere, is called troposphere. Now which extends up to a altitude of 12 kilometers from the earth's surface. Now see here, this distance values varies from different textbooks. You can use from 12 to 16, whichever is correct, right? Now in this troposphere, your 90% of your gases exist. 90% of the gases exist, and we will see this composition of gases later in detail. Okay, now see here, what is the nature of this troposphere? Now the temperature decreases with increase in height or your altitude in troposphere. So at an average there will be 15 degrees centigrade near the earth's surface and minus 57 degrees centigrade at the top part of the troposphere, right? Now the next layer is called stratosphere. Now the layer between troposphere and stratosphere is called tropopause. Now this tropopause is also called cold trap, or it is also called as thermal layer. Now once in your 2013 Service Commission examination there is a question, what is the other name for tropopause, which is called cold trap or thermal layer? Now why it is called cold trap, right? Why it is called cold trap, and what is the significance of tropopause, right? Now why it is called cold trap? Because tropopause is the maximum limit to which water vapor can rise from the earth's surface as it changes into ice and gets trapped at the troposphere, right? Now this is the highest point where your water vapor can rise, where your water vapor can rise. Now it changes to ice and get trapped in the cold trap. Now observe here, if there is no cold trap, earth would lose all of its water. Then there would be no environment or growth or living organisms in the earth surface when there is no water, right? Water is the major component. So this is the major significance of tropopause, right? So the next layer is called stratosphere. Now stratosphere extends up to a height of 50 kilometers. Now what is the nature of stratosphere? Now in stratosphere a thin layer of ozone is present. Ozone layer. Now what is the significance of this ozone, right? This ozone will absorb all the harmful or most of your UV radiations which is emitted from the sun, right? It doesn't allow to fall on the earth surface, right? Now see here again, I will sum it up. This ozone layer will form a shield on the earth from sun's harmful UV radiation. Now this ozone layer absorbs UV radiation from the sun, right? And it doesn't allow to fall on the earth surface. That's why now these organizations are forming a committees called ozone depletion committees, right, in order to save these ozones. Now what is the main reason for depletion of ozone? Do you know that? Yes, the main reasons is emission of CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Now we will discuss this in detail in pollution, no need of worry that, right? And what is the nature of this stratosphere? Now see here, your lower part of stratosphere will be cool and the upper part of stratosphere will be warm, because this ozone layer absorbs all the UV radiation which makes the topmost layer of stratosphere warm, right? Okay, now these are the main points of stratosphere. Now again, the next layer of stratosphere is mesosphere. Mesosphere. Now mesosphere extends up to an altitude of 80 kilometers, right? And again, the basic properties of mesosphere is your temperature will be decreasing with increase in height, or some you can call it as altitude. Now what is this major significance of mesosphere? Major significance of mesosphere. Now mesosphere is very dense. Do you know how much dense it is? It can slow down your meteors that hurts your atmosphere, right? Now these meteors will burn up in the mesosphere, leaving only fiery tails which you can observe in the sky, right? Now see here, this mesosphere is very dense and they can burn up meteors and which hurts the atmosphere, right? Now this is the significance of mesosphere. Now observe here, the layer between stratosphere and mesosphere is called stratopause. Stratopause, right? Now, beyond mesosphere, the next layer is called thermosphere. Now, thermosphere extends up to a height of 700 kilometers. Right? What is the properties of this thermosphere? Right? Now, in this thermosphere, the gas molecules are not uniformly distributed, right? Not uniformly distributed, and again the temperature will be very high in thermosphere, right? Now, beyond thermosphere, now the other layer is called, the next layer is called exosphere. Exosphere, right? And again, see here, the layer between thermosphere and mesosphere is called mesopause. Mesopause, right? Now, beyond exosphere, then space exists. Now, what is the significance of thermosphere? As already we said, gas molecules will not be uniformly distributed, but in your stratosphere and troposphere, these gas molecules are uniformly distributed. Gas molecules are uniformly distributed, right? Now, got the point? Yes. We will see the next concepts in the next video. Thank you.